Yo, what's good, people? Izzy Max here, back again for another VGC Draft League match. This match was against my boy Jizzy. It was actually really fun, but let's go ahead and jump in. You can see the mons on the layout of what 6 I'm bringing, which you can see here, and what 6 he brought. I was really surprised that he ended up bringing the Decidui and the Vikavolt, but as you'll see, he doesn't bring it in any of the games. So for game 1, I'm just going to lead my Ninetales Vileplume with Ferrothorn in the back, because it really kind of checks certain sets of Snorlax and the Primarina. I was kind of scared of the Primarina. As you see, I didn't bring Dragapult this week. For that, Primarina and Mudsdale kind of just doesn't care about any Dragapult set. And I figured Gallade in the back would be fine if I do end up falling behind against a Snorlax or get into Trick Room. I could at least stall it out with Ferrothorn and be able to put out some more damage with Gallade. He's really thinking out what he wants to bring, and you'll see here in the first couple moves he really has me worried about the outcome of this game. As we see here, we're going to jump right in. Let's see if I can't fast forward. I can't. These animations take so long. Okay, so he ends up leading Snorlax, Malamar, and right here, I'm afraid this Malamar is actually going to set up Trick Room. So this is kind of an unfortunate turn of events, because right here, this is a Specs Ninetales. So I'm just going to Specs Heat Wave, Max Ooze into the Malamar. I'm in Sun, so my Vileplume should be the fastest thing on the field, but it's Quick Claw Snorlax, so I can't really do a whole lot here. As you're gonna see, he's gonna Dynamax, not Gigantamax. So I'm not worried about the Belly Drum. Snorlax is still a threat. It's still bulky with its double HP, but I do have Gallade in the back. So knowing that it's not gonna Belly Drum, I'm kind of a little safe here. Although the Quick Claw is worrying me a little bit. So I'm wondering, and I'm thinking, okay, I seen the Quick Claw. He's probably going to go for a Max Ground and just demolish my Ninetales. But he's actually going to make a better play. And he's actually going to turn off my Sun and smack my Vileplume for a lot of damage. So I'm guessing this is just Ice Punch, which does way more than half. So now my Vileplume is now super slow. Not as slow as the Snorlax, but my Specs Heat Wave ends up missing the Snorlax, which doesn't end up mattering, but it still does a good chunk to the Malamar, and he actually sets up Reflect. So this is Light Screen Reflect Malamar. I was really expecting Trick Room, and here I do just go for the Max Ooze. So now my Ninetales is +1. I don't know why he would set up a Reflect, because there's 2 special mons. I guess he might be worried about my Gallade in the back, but everything else I brought is pretty special. Gallade and Ferrothorn are the only true physical attackers I brought. But here, I'm locked into Heat Wave. I'm +1, so I'm just going to keep going for it. I was debating on max guarding, but I figured there's no reason to. So here, Heat Wave goes off. It is going to end up knocking out the Malamar, so it can't get up either its other screen or set up Trick Room if it wanted to. And then Max Ooze is just going to come out and not do too much to the Snorlax, but that wasn't my plan. My plan was to boost Ninetales as far as possible. So now Ninetales is at +2. So theoretically it's at +3 because of the Specs. And here Vileplume is just going to go down. As soon as he reset my weather, I wasn't worried about my Ninetales or my Vileplume staying alive. So it wasn't a big deal. So I do see the Ice Punch is what I'm expecting on this Snorlax. So I'm thinking, okay, Ice Punch, normal coverage, ground coverage, steel coverage, because that really kind of hurts my team other than Gallade. So I'm thinking, okay, Ferrothorn's kind of safe to come in here. I was expecting Primarina to come out to counter my Ninetales. I'm like, okay, Ferrothorn here is fine. I go again. This is +2 Specs Heat Wave. And I was debating on Leech Seeding the Snorlax, which I think I don't end up doing. I think I end up Power Whipping. Yeah, I end up Power Whipping the Primarina. But as you'll see again, Quick Claw activated again. I think it activates like 4 times in this game. And he goes for a Max Flare. So now I'm thinking it's Heat Crash or Fire Punch, but I didn't remember if it got Fire Punch or not. It turns out later on in the games that it is Heat Crash. So Ferrothorn kind of just goes down for nothing, and a big Heat Wave does so much to that Primarina. I was really surprised, but he ended up setting the Sun back up for me. So now I'm basically, I think, like +5 because Fire moves a double in the Sun. So I'm thinking, okay, he really can't do anything to my Ninetales. My Ninetales is just going to end up sweeping. So I bring out my Gallade because I don't know if another Heat Wave will knock out the Snorlax. And I don't really know what he can do unless Quick Claw activates and he has high horsepower. That'd be the only way that I actually end up losing this game. Because no matter what, Ninetales is faster than the Primarina. As long as I don't miss, I knock it out. So Quick Claw does activate, and I am terrified here. Because if he knocks out my Ninetales, he pretty much wins. But he goes for an Aqua Jet in the Sun. And there we go. We do see it being Heat Crash, but he goes for the Gallade, and the Gallade actually ends up living, which ends up not mattering, because like I said, Ninetales ends up taking both of these out. And the funny thing is, I think his targeting is correct until my Ninetales got to +4 in the Sun, or +2 in the Sun. Because now it pretty much one-shots everything on his team and anything that he could be bringing out. And I understand Gallade would be a threat, but I would not be leaving this Ninetales on the field. But here, surprisingly enough, Heat Wave ends up just one-shotting this Mudsdale, which I was actually really surprised about. But I was going to go for Leaf Blade anyway, so it didn't matter. So let's just go ahead and fast forward. Back up a little bit. In game 2, the Quick Claw kind of screwed me up. So I'm going to go with my Persian Gallade with the Sun in the back. So Persian actually has beat up on it this week. And Gallade is justified. And seeing what he brought game 1, he really doesn't have a way to stop AV Gallade. Even Quick Clawing for Snorlax isn't going to do much to Gallade. So this is my game. This is my game plan going into the second set, or the second game. And he does end up leading the Snorlax Mudsdale. I know, well, I have a suspicion that this Snorlax does not have Belly Drum. So I am going to ignore it. I am just going to max. I almost wanted to go for the Snorlax. But then I thought to myself, I don't really have anything that cares about this Snorlax. I didn't bring Ferrothorn. Vileplume is in the back as a safety valve. I'm just going to take out this Mudsdale. Because if push comes to shove, I need my Vileplume to or my Ninetales to sweep again. So I'm going to end up maxing. He is as well. These max animations take so long. And there you go. And then there's his Snorlax. So I'm just going to beat up. So now I'm going to be a +4 Gallade. And looking at what he has on his team, I have coverage for everything. Fire Punch. What do I have? Fire Punch, Leaf Blade, Close Combat. I don't know what my fourth move was. I only ended up clicking 2 moves on this thing. But again, Persian is so key to a lot of the strategies that I ended up drafting that it fills so many roles. And you'll see after this Snorlax attacks, because it does end up attacking the Persian, as we just one-shot the Mudsdale. I was not worried about not one-shotting that thing. I was expecting it to be AV, but based on the damage that Ninetales did, I don't know if it actually is. But yeah, you'll see here that this does nothing to the Persian. And I was actually really surprised. I did EV a little bit of defense in it because I was worried about the Snorlax, but it does have foul play. So if the Snorlax did end up going for a belly drum, Persian would have kind of 1v1'd it in the loosest sense of the term, just because of the Quick Claw, as he does end up bringing Malamar. And again, I cannot let him set up Trick Room. I know it's not Sash, so I'm just gonna start hitting it again. And here, I don't remember what I do with my Persian, because now it's just kind of sitting on the field. I know I go back and forth. I end up realizing that Max Grass is going to do more because of the terrain. And I think, yeah, I end up foul playing the Snorlax just to see how much it'll do. And I realized that this Snorlax, after this hit, is super offensive. Like, I don't even know how much HP EVs it has, because that's actually a lot of damage from a Persian with no attack investment to a G-Max Snorlax. But Malamar just goes down. I am a +4 Gallade with grassy terrain, so there's not much. And then here, he is setting up the defense boosts, but me knowing that he doesn't have Belly Drum, I'm not too worried about it. I'm basically, well, I'm 4-on-2 right now, but based on what he has, I know my Gallade is faster. My Gallade is fast enough to speed tie with Primarina, and I know a Max Grass is just gonna kill it. It might even kill through Protect, I'm not sure, but I said, oh well, I'm AV, I know I'm not gonna do anything. I can't let this Snorlax get any more defense boosts, because at this point I am kind of worried about that, and I do have Vileplume Ninetales in the back, so Primarina is not my priority. Foul play does a little bit more, or no, I'm sorry, Snarl. I went for Snarl just because of the Moonblast. And as you see, he does end up living a +4 Max Knuckle, but that is because of the 2 defense boosts. Which is funny, he never gets a Quick Claw in this game, but he got like 4 in game 1. Moonblast did negligible damage, and here Persian is just living hits, and now it's going to activate, I think it's into Figgy? I don't remember what berry I gave it. But Persian is just a tank. Fur Coat on this thing is busted. It literally takes physical hits 4 days, and now it's back up to more than half HP. Everybody gets a little bit of recovery. I'm not too worried about it. I don't really care. And I believe I actually just Leaf Blade the Snorlax. I'm not for sure. No. This turn I actually attacked the Primarina. I'm not worried about the Snorlax anymore. It's not maxed. It can't really do anything. Can't set up anymore. I know that I'm going to kill it with a close combat, but I don't want to lower my own defenses in the face of the Primarina. So again, I just go for a foul play. Persian just needed to do some damage. And then here, Leaf Blade ends up just killing the Primarina. I knew it would. We're in grassy terrain. I'm at +4. And then the Snorlax here just goes for Heavy Slam on the Persian. And now in this game, I think his targeting was a little backwards. I know in the first game I had in this league, Persian was doing a lot of work. Just because his team was so specially based, I was just able to fire off Snarls and he couldn't do anything about it. But against his team, Snorlax and Mudsdale are his main threats, and Persian can't really do anything against them other than Quash, but I didn't bring Quash. So I would have been targeting my threat Gallade with everything you had. I do go for a fake out. I don't want Persian to end up killing a Snorlax. I want my Gallade to get the 4th kill. Might be a little asshole of me, but I don't care. I wanted my Glade to get another kill. It put in the work. It deserved it. And that's going to be the end of the game. So I played really well. After those Quick Claw procs, game 1 had me a little scared. But I'm really satisfied with the way this team is laying out. Based on everybody else's team in the league, I have a lot of threats that are hard to counter. And if you counter one, you don't counter the other. But yeah, so if you enjoyed this match, go ahead and leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. And I should be back next week with another match. I'm going to try to find something more to record throughout the week. But yeah, without further ado, peace.